Hey, welcome back, family. How is everybody? Well, I'm sure everybody's doing well. And we'll do a quick tap in real quick. That helps me get my stuff centered, and I'm able to finish getting stuff set up. So, tapping in with the panel real quick. Stephanie and Lynn, how are you all doing this wonderful second to last Wednesday of Financial Literacy Month? How are y'all doing?
We are doing awesome. We're doing awesome. We had another first this week where we went to a conference, and it's called the Family Office. That's what it was, a family office conference, and we met a lot of great people. We got, just to let you know how it went, we were invited to come to Singapore and Rwanda.
Oh wow.
So we're like, are we that cool?
Absolutely, you are. So, are y'all gonna take any of those offers, or?
So we're definitely looking into it. It was like, well, we must need to go because y'all want us.
Yeah, both of them are later on in the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this meeting was for families worth $100 million and up.
Oh wow,
nice.
So they move different.
Absolutely, they do.
You know what? They do, but as we all know, they're still people.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just people you see every day. You know.
I don't see people worth 100.
You don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know. Yeah, you don't know. It's just like, him? And then it's like, and somebody that you think would be that, they're not.
That's true enough.
I think Richard was one of them, but he just be playing. No, Richard playing low key.
Good. I'm
if Richard had $100 million,
he would not be on his podcast.
Damn, that's too bad. So money would cause you to not support.
I don't know about.
I know about it.
Hold on. I'm not sure if I would be living in America full time. So I'd say
you would not be on his podcast.
But if it were
on his, say that. If I was on the podcast, if I had $100 million, my words would be carefully monitored by the lawyer.
If his schedule will permit it,
right. You know, folks talk different when they got that $100 million. They talk different.
If he wasn't on a holiday,
right. It's no longer a vacation; it's a holiday. You don't have schedules; you have schedules.
Yeah, schedules.
And it's not caramel; it's caramel.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
well, we didn't meet anybody that spoke like that, though. Honestly, they were just like, I was like, okay, great.
That's good. Brooks, how about you? How has your week been so far?
It has been fun, a little crazy. To again, the Medeiros couple, Stephanie, you're freaking badass. Your other half, bad taste in teams, but I like him. He's all right in my book. Mr. President, I will say, all right too. And Rogue Glass, what's up? I'm just living the dream, just doing it one day at a time.
Yeah, that's.
And I hope you guys get $100 million so that we can be in the club.
Me too. One thing's for sure, I'll know if they get $100 million, or at least if Rich does, because we won't see him on.
They just don't show up on our podcast anymore.
He's gonna end up tapping out of the group text and everything.
He just sent you a money sign moniker, and he's like, "I'm out."
Right. He will be out.
Okay.
So I'm glad everybody's doing well this evening. We've got we've got some interesting topics today, and I've been trying to figure out how to navigate this as best as possible. I mean,
You should tell them what I sent you via text. What I thought you were talking about.
I'll let you share that. I'll let you share that. But
So, Schwartz and McCormick, I looked up. It's like a Canadian company, and McCormick owns Schwartz. So I was reading into it. I was doing it like all deep dive, and I was like, I said James, I'm like, you mean the Canadian company? And he's all like, no. It's like, oh damn. So
Yeah,
I'm like, I did like a good 2 hours worth of research too. He's all failed.
we ain't doing nothing with no Canadian companies. I want them jokers
No,
coming
this is
to get me.
different black women.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was 2 different black women.
Yep.
Well, I didn't know. I thought because what he wrote to me was like Schwartz and McCormick. So I was like, oh, okay. So I looked up Schwartz and McCormick, and I was like, oh, Canadian company. So I just went deep into dive into it.
No,
right?
Because he didn't make that clear in his title. Because
I did not.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what Schwartz was either, but I knew what McCormick was. So.
You commented on Schwartz.
You did.
On Schwartz
Yes,
or
I do.
Swalwell?
Yeah,
Schwartz.
She's up there in the Kennedy tree. She up there stuck in the Kennedy tree.
No, I remember commenting on Swalwell, Eric Swalwell, and on
The black woman who is now in league.
Oh,
with
I'm sorry.
Kennedy,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
named
Right.
Schwartz.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I was all in on like.
I got it right.
Canadian company.
Not I'm not wrong. I got it right. Oh,
The answer is yes. The answer is yes to your question.
We're off to a great start now.
I know, right? But before we hop into that,
podcast, you just need to talk on the way you be sitting up just looking at it. You like, woo, wow, right?
yeah.
No,
But before-
I was all in. I literally studied for 2 hours, and then I texted James. I was like, "Hey, you mean the Canadian company?" He's all like, no.
Wow. I got nothing to do with no Canadian company.
And it's not
Before Before we hop into that, though, I want to just we gotta go. We gotta look at Virginia. We gotta figure out what's going on, what happened with Virginia, and how people are feeling about Virginia.
And how one particular person wigged out over Virginia.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we'll start with Lynn and Stephanie. What are the possible, and not for sure, right? But what are the possible ramifications of the voters? Right? It was the voters. I want to make sure we got that clear, because I think saying the voters, having to make sure that we preface this by saying the people, the citizens, the residents of Virginia voted for Jerry to go do all type of mandering in Virginia, right? And the reason why I say the voters, because in Texas it was a different makeup.
Oh yeah, right? It was Governor Abbott and his boy.
Yeah. And that's why it didn't hold up in Texas.
Oh, it didn't hold. It held up.
Oh, did it? Okay, yeah. I didn't follow up on that.
Well, it wasn't as big as a divide.
Right. That's right.
Not as big as Virginia.
Yes. And so because of the favor that the president requested from the governor of Texas, we had California jump in, Missouri jumped in, Indiana didn't want to play with nobody like that. There were several different states that hopped in this pool of gerrymandering everywhere, and Virginia came out, and their citizens
in Virginia right now.
their citizens decided to switch some things up. So what are the possible implications? What does that speak to as far as possible midterm shaping? If I not frame it that way, what does this look like? Lynn and Steph, we'll start with you all.
As a former resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Commonwealth.
Yes. Kentucky's a Commonwealth too, right?
It is.
Yeah. and I was born in Pennsylvania, which is also a Commonwealth. So I'm familiar with how these folks get down. And basically, this is a total game changer for the midterms. I mean, if the 10-1 actually holds up, the House is a done deal, and maybe even the Senate.
So yeah, I heard. You know what, Stephanie? You know what? No, listen. I want people to understand something. When we come on this show, we ain't just lollygagging. We actually read.
Yeah.
And many of us are college educated.
Not me.
So when but you host the show, so it doesn't matter. So here's the thing.
Right.
When we say things, we are doing things in real time. So in real time, per Yahoo News, Judge blocks Virginia from using the new House maps after the redistricting vote. And it's saying here, a state judge has blocked the redistricting effort that was passed in a referendum a day earlier. This
So he's
judge
blocking the will of the people.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying the will of the people is great, but he was saying something about the Constitution of Virginia was violated. He's saying that the referendum violated several clauses of the state constitution, arguing it skirted a 90-day public notice requirement and calling the question that was presented to voters flagrantly misleading. Now, I'm sure this is going to get appealed, and I guess it'll go to the...
I'll say it like in simple terms, James. This is like the same thing as like if a door knocker comes through Freemasonry and says, "Hey, I want like an invite," and they have to have a 30-day. You have to put it in the gauge, and people have to get notice of it. That's what he's using, and they destroyed him on it because they didn't do it. I have a friend who's in Virginia, who's super close to me. I've been known him for like 30 years, and they're like, "No, they didn't do it." And they're like, they're going to get destroyed on it. And they're going to, this is actually going to help. I'm saying it honestly. The Republicans win the midterm elections.
It won't. I unfortunately I have
awesome.
to disagree.
$1 bet. Huh? $1 bet, gentlemen.
I don't bet money.
All right.
That's a smart
Monopoly dollar bet.
Give me your firstborn.
I'll do that.
Say again.
But were you about to agree, Jay Glass, or disagree?
I wholeheartedly disagree that this is going to be the thing that swings voters in the midterms, right? And this is why.
Look at like what happened.
Well, this is why I'm saying that. Just follow me for a second, right? This is going to have an impact, but what we still haven't gotten over are the release of the Epstein files. That's going to resurface.
Well, it won't have no impact. It won't have no impact until this judge's ruling is overturned. So it will not have.
Thank you.
So I'm about to check and see how long Virginia voters were notified.
You can check, but the judge is not going to put something in writing.
That's literally been like since like the 1800s rule there. I didn't know that. My friend told me that. He's like, that's been like an old rule.
So here's the thing.
It's kind of like masonry. That's just like.
Well, let him finish his point. Let him finish his
point. You know what? It's funny because Mr. Brooks, he says I'm just all right, but there's sometimes when I'm backing up what he says. So here's what I'm gonna say on this Virginia situation. When the judge says 90-day public notice, that's kind of straight objective. But when he says calling the question that presented to voters flagrantly misleading, okay, to me that's subjective. So it's going to be interesting. Right. Okay, I'm done. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're right, Mr. President. You're talking about like the 90 days is kind of like Robert's Rules of Order, right? Like it's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
And then like you have to like follow the prescribed rules of whatever you're voting on or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just the way it is. You know, like you could be like, I'll table the motion, right? And then the motion gets tabled for 30 days, period. Done.
I took that down as a note so that I could go back and I can do a little digging into it. But I don't think that judge's move is going to be held. I think the powers that be are going to fight against that, and they're going to win because
in the appeals court.
Yeah.
So if the Democrats, listen to how I say this, if those who support the Democratic Party say we're going to appeal this decision, I guess the governor will lead this appeal. She's a Democrat, and it goes to the appeals court, and the appeals court overturns the judge's decision. Then the Republicans will say, okay, now let's go to the Virginia. I should know this better than anybody. Let's go to the Virginia Supreme Court to see what they say.
Right. And
then whoever loses in the Virginia Supreme Court, then the other side will say, well, this is a federal issue because this involves federal candidates. I think of President Trump right now. So now we have to expedite this emergency docket because this primary and general is coming so soon. This has to be an emergency issue. And now it has to go up to the United States Supreme Court that already said
they're going to get crushed.
Yeah, because I think they said either Texas or California. The U.S. Supreme Court already said Texas or California, I forgot which one, that what they did on their redistricting was okay because it's up to the states. So it was okay because the Constitution does not really specify what the states can do regarding their voting, other than every 10 years on a consensus. So
100%.
This
they're
probably
gonna get crushed.
will go.
They're done.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't agree with you all. I don't think the Republicans have enough bite in this fight. And the reason why I say it's an easy.
What Trump did great.
Well, hold on, because it's an easy thing to say we're going to have that. It's an easy thing to say. Well, there was public knowledge given longer than 6 months ago, 90 days ago, that we were going to have a vote on this, right? It just has to be public knowledge. The redistricting map has to be placed on the actual official website, and it has to be public knowledge, right? Now that's where they're going to end up getting into the litigation part, because if let's say, for instance, somebody says, well, yeah, I figured and I knew that the redistricting vote was going to come to Virginia because a year and some change ago, the president introduced this to the governor of Texas. Well, then that's a bit of a catch-all because now it is public knowledge, right? So it's going to become semantics that they play horribly with this, but I don't think the Republicans are going to make it out on top. Even if let's say the judge's order is stayed, right, and it's upheld, the voters will still go to the midterm elections with an even saltier taste in their mouth, and it's not going to work out for the Republicans. That's why these maps were drawn, and they're showing what they're showing.
Well,
yeah. So they'll be galvanized by the time it's time to go to the polls in November. You need things like this to get people to come out and vote. You need to get some sort of adversity or some sort of, something in order for any particular party to get up off their butt and go out there and actually cast their vote.
But this is the Trump effect. When Black America said we don't trust the court system in civil or criminal matters, white America laughed at us. He said, get over it. Slavery's over, get over it. Only when President Trump, when he left office in 2021, he said, I don't trust the court system. Now, nobody from either party, regardless of your color, your race, or sexual orientation, do you trust any judge? So if the judge says the sky's blue, you say, well, I don't trust you because you don't like me. Let's go on and ask the next judge. And then it goes all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, which is a politically compacted court of 9 people. And so you have the conservatives and the liberals. And rarely do they have consensus unless it's going to be for the detriment of the country breaking down, where the empire may be removed. Then they got to come together and say, hey, 9-0, this is the decision to keep this empire going. Other than that, nobody trusts what the court says. So what the judge says in Virginia, he may be absolutely factually correct. The 90-day notice was not publicized correctly, if it was even publicized at all.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't trust it because you say, what if he's a Republican judge? What if he belongs to he's a conservative? You're not going to trust him.
And I didn't say that part on purpose.
Well, no, I know you didn't. But I'm just saying for the viewers, so when Brooks says, hey.
Whose pocket is he in?
At this point, allegedly, nobody knows. But if it goes to the United States Supreme Court, they're going to have to rule in favor. Well, wait a minute. Yeah. I don't know what they'll do. Because if you rule in favor of Texas or California doing this redistricting, saying that they were okay to do it, then you should be consistent for all the other for the other 49 states. You should be consistent.
That is the power of winning the Supreme Court and getting the justices that you want in the Supreme Court. That is the gift that you get.
Yeah. But what I'm the reason why I pulled this article up and I'm sharing it, the Virginia Mercury, is because I was just going through this actual article to see what it was talking about, and it was talking about redistricting. Do you know when this article was published?
90 days ago.
This one's almost. This is February 26th of 2026. Right. So now the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm showing that there was a backwards trend in these areas, knowing that there was a vote coming. Right.
There has to be a 90-day public. We don't know on the Virginia Constitution if it's a 90. Now, remember, when somebody says you got to give a 90-day public notice requirement for every state, a 90-day public notice requirement may look differently.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because every state kind of control. Oh God, we went through this. Every state controls its ballot box up to a certain point. We said this a few podcasts.
Too many people have been left off the ballot because they didn't declare early, or they didn't declare in time, or they were like, "Oh, I would need to be like involved in this." This is the same thing. They're just going to use it. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's. But remember, when we first started talking about when Texas said we're going to do a redistricting, and I said the strategist for Trump has told him, if we start here in Texas, California is going to respond back. And now we respond back with Ohio or Missouri. And then they respond back with another state. And then we respond back with this state. And I said they should have counted that by the time all these redistricting has happened in these different states, they should have come out on top. If they didn't, then they should have never messed with Texas to begin with, because you had a losing battle to start with.
Yeah.
So
100%, 100%, because like they shouldn't have fucking started the fight. They shouldn't.
Right.
Like,
so the
it's
president
easy.
Trump said,
do the math. Like,
right. But President Trump said, "I'm going to pick up about 5 seats in Texas."
Yep.
And he was right. But then California was going to give the pushback and equalize those 5 by picking up 5 more in California. So you didn't win anything. And so when someone said a long time ago in the Power podcast, Richard, do you think because what Texas did, California should do the same thing? And I said no. But the truth is, for fairness and doing things the right way, no, you don't respond back when someone's trying to do something that you know is unfair and unrighteous. But for a political contest, if Mr. Glass is on some steroids and hitting that ball out the park and getting all that money, then basically, in order for me to keep up with him, I have to quote, this is how I say this, I got to pull my Barry Bonds shit out and do the same thing. But it's not right. But it's not right.
Yeah,
so but it then here is, you're right. It's not right, but it then becomes fair.
Well then the same people, hopefully these Democrats are pushing for Barry Bonds to make it into the Hall of Fame of baseball.
Right. I agree with you. So I am not for gerrymandering at all, and the reason why is because I believe that it suppresses the vote of the constituents that should be represented by a specific incumbent. when you pull out of those district lines, urban folks and agriculturalists, they don't have the same priorities, right? And so when you mix those folks up, somebody's going to be lost, and their voice isn't going to be heard. They're not going to have proper representation. And so I'm not for gerrymandering at the end of the day. However, when and I can't even say that it was cheating.
It's
but
an
when
old
it's
strategy.
Yeah, when it said out just laissez-faire, right? Hey, I need five. We gotta win this. I need 5. I'm gonna be in trouble if we don't get 5. Texas, give me 5. Well, then now you've just created a new standard. You've created a new standard, and you cannot become the victim of the standard that you created. That's such an American thing that happens. And I said that as a segue because this is where I really wanted to go with that. This is the statement of the president after he lost the redistricting aspect of it. He said,
ask James, the Democrats started this. They did.
Not this year.
They started it. They did.
No, not this year.
Not this year.
All right, so let's keep it here, because when you need a time machine to make your argument, you got a weak argument. Because we're gonna end up back talking about Lincoln and the Dixiecrats.
I'm not even complaining about that, but like the Republicans did all retaliation of what they did.
When really we got enough.
No, I'm not complaining with that. I'm not complaining with it at all.
Just keep it here.
But
you all know here who started it. Like James just said, he made a phone call because he needed 5 on it.
It's like we're in Vegas or something at the table.
Yeah, but you know what, Lynn? In Mr. Brooks' defense, you can't really talk about the present unless you examine the past. Because we as Black folks, we always examine the past and say, hey, we need our reparations of what y'all did to us.
That's all I'm saying.
Look, we can examine.
They started it, and they started it so much so that like the Republicans were like, no, why should you do this? And then they freaking did it back to them, and now they're complaining.
But Mr. Brooks, if you check the history, of gerrymandering, Mr. Brooks, if you check the real history of gerrymandering when it first happened, then we do have to go back to 1812 to that. I think he was the governor of Massachusetts. He wanted to change the lines, and he was part of the Democratic Republican Party. So if you say, well, let's go back in the last 2 or 3 years or the last 10, 15 years. Okay.
Let's keep it with this administration. That's all I'm saying.
And with James's point,
because to go to previous administrations, we're just trading sore arm pictures.
We are, and at that point, you're pulling the conversation away from. Remember, things had settled, right? That's why we haven't seen a ton of gerrymandering. Things had settled. The voters understood who their representatives were, until somebody wanted a definitive win, and I can't even call it cheating because it was a loophole that was never closed, right? But he wanted a definitive win. And so he called in a favor. And I'll even concede that the Democrats started it. Okay, fine. But I'm talking about what's happened now. What's happened here recently that's gotten everything thrown out of sorts. And the president called down to Texas and he wanted 5 seats. And now that it didn't work for him, he's saying that there was a rigged election that took place last night.
Yep.
All day long, Republicans were winning. The spirit was unbelievable until the very end, when, of course, there was a massive mail-in ballot drop. Save Act. U.S. investigators have never unearthed any evidence of widespread voter fraud, including the mail-in ballot system. I'm reading that from the BBC, right? But these are the words of our president with no evidence backing anything that he's saying. And so it kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week. If you're the president when should people take you seriously, or should you always be considered the clown at the circus?
The main attraction. And none of this is new. Remember during the election, he was like, "Oh, all this stuff is rigged. Everything is always rigged when it's not in his favor." So it's not new.
Yeah. So
that's his jam. That's his thing. That's what he does.
Oh, and Patel's supposed to come out with proof this week.
Oh my God.
That the election was rigged.
Which one? Which election? Which
2020. Was stolen. And Cash Patel is doing this because he's trying to keep his job.
Yeah.
Cash is running scared right now.
Cash out.
Cash is running scared. Listen,
he's trying to be relevant.
Yeah, I was told by an old Marine Corps warrant officer, if you're gonna fly with the Eagles, you better be able to raise with the Roosters. And clearly, he ain't been able to raise with the Roosters after being out drinking all night. Because allegedly, if things are affecting meetings the next day, and you're the director of a major federal police unit, and you can't act anyway, allegedly, right? So yeah, this is his big pivot to blame somebody else because he's running scared because he was locked out of his computer. Because
I love that. I love not being able to log in, and he goes to, "I've been fired." That's his go-to. Yeah. Not there's something wrong with the system.
Right.
He goes to, "I've been fired."
I've been fired.
I couldn't imagine working in that type of environment, not in a healthy way. You know, if that's your go-to.
Hey, I saw how he was getting down with the hockey team.
Yep.
So,
everybody saw that.
Yeah, I'm not calling the man an alcoholic. That's not what I'm saying.
Hey, you know what's funny? Because I love history, and when we were talking about who really started this, we go all the way back to the very beginning, and I said the guy was a governor of Massachusetts. He was, quote, Governor Jerry, and he was part of the Democratic Republican Party. And ironically, I want to say that party, ironically, became the Republican Party.
Well, yeah.
So, because they believed in limited power.
And they called it gerrymandering because his name was Jerry.
You are correct. So, a lot of times when you talk to people, in my opinion, just like we know there's so much Black history, which is American history, but we don't get credit for it. So we have to know so much about our history, contributions to the country. But when you talk to white people, you have to know their history of the country too. You got to know both. So
and you know the right history because they always rewrite history so that they won't look bad. So which is the truth?
Well, wait a minute. That's the third part called the conspiracy history, that the word conspiracy came from the CIA. So when you tell the whole story that includes the white and the Black, that's a conspiracy. So as long as you can keep white people and Black people separated, and so we have these shows, we have to go back and go back to history of white America so that they can say, oh, wait, they said that wrong. Let me look that up. We'll go right ahead from your source. And if we're wrong, you tell us, you text us and say, hey, you were wrong on that aspect. You interpret that incorrectly. Fair enough. Because we want to be fair. That's what I pride myself on is I want to be true and fair to people regardless of their color, because I want you to see me as your equal, even though a percentage of white America will never see us as their equal, unfortunately. So.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I owe a correction from last week. I was talking about Stephen Miller and him not being able to answer for over 2 minutes a question from Representative Lou from California. And I gave a figure, a dollar amount, and I said it was $62.5 billion. And I was incorrect. The actual dollar amount that was unaccounted for, that was split up between 4 offshore accounts, was $6.2 billion. So there's still a B in there.
Yeah. You listen. You made the correction. I think you made the correction in overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't do it online. He didn't do it online.
It wasn't live.
And it didn't go from billion to $5. Good Lord. Yeah.
We just had to slide the decimal point over.
Hey, you know what's funny? This is a trick that Donald Trump does. But I think both parties do it. If Lynn goes out here and steals $100 million, I say, well, he stole $100 billion. And then they say, "Oh, you lying on Lynn? You just hating on Lynn. He only stole $100 million." Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
that's done.
But you know what? That it is a trick. I actually do that. I say things on purpose that I know are inaccurate because what happens is if somebody else now chimes in with the accurate information, now my story really has legs. But if it's just me giving all the facts and figures, people are sitting there like, but if I get one wrong, and then somebody chimes in with the right one, I say, you know what, you're right. It is that number. Now, people are like, okay, 2 people believe this story, and now the thing has
what? The really smart debaters know the trick.
Yep.
Like, I know it's coming. Oh, I'll walk right around. Nope. I'm not answering that question.
Yep.
Yes or no? Nope. I'm not answering.
So on the topic of actual money, this is a pivot, and we're going to work a little bit backwards, right? Because Congressman Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, right? That's who I was talking about, my brother.
The Canadian woman. No, okay.
Yeah, not the Canadian company, bro. She has been.
Hey, I'm making fun of myself. I'm the one who texted James. I was like, "Hey, are we talking about the same things?"
We just wanted to be on the same page. That's all.
No, we get it.
Yeah.
So that congresswoman has tapped out right now. I want to also, and we'll jump into this. I want to paint the picture a little bit because this is a Democratic congresswoman representing a portion of Florida who, in a very bipartisan fashion, has been brought up on allegations of over 24. It says 24.
25.
Yeah.
27 convicted of 25.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how it's going, right? And so she's tapped out. But the question that I have for the panel is $5 million, right? $5 million is the case that they gave her, plus a few other things. Why did the Democrats give her up?
What do you mean, give her up?
I know exactly what he means.
Yeah, why did they give her up? They could have had the ability. There was the ability to continue to fight for a platform to maintain her, because with her gone out of that, the Republicans are able to maintain a very small stronghold over in government. So why didn't the Democrats at least strategically maintain ties with her to hang on at least to the midterms?
I don't think she had a defensible position. Listen. The $5 million is a problem.
Wait a minute.
And it's FEMA. It's FEMA money.
Yeah.
Mr. Medeiros.
Yes.
I have a prepared statement.
Okay. Okay. So are you her attorney tonight? Is that what you are?
I'm just a brother out here defending
Are
sisters.
you her attorney tonight?
I'm just a brother out here defending sisters. Now hold on.
Okay.
Because when y'all get mad at me for defending Candace Owens, y'all be giving me the blues. Now here I am giving.
Listen. You know where I come down. I come down on, look, the Pope is soft on crime. I'm hard on crime. And hold on. And having been accused, listen to this, having been accused of stealing $3.5 million. I know. And you know what? And you know what saved me? Not a nickel of it. Not a nickel.
So, as a person who believes in the equality of men and women, as a person who believes in other African Americans, whether they're conservative or Democrat, I have my statement. I, Richard Lewis Brown, simply cannot stand by and allow the due process of dignified, highly educated, beautiful African-American women to be trampled on, nor will I allow the good name of the African-American woman and her contributions to society ever be diminished. Now, I don't want to get loud. After careful reflection and prayer, I have concluded that in the best interest of African-American women and for women in general in America, I will defend former Representative Sheila Cheerfulness McCormick. Now, what I did was I took her 2 statements and then I put my 2 cents in on it. Now, she should still be in Congress because I know, well, hold on. If you're going to hold women accountable for allegedly doing something wrong financially at her age, and you had all these other men in Congress and both houses acting a damn fool.
And they're falling like dominoes. She's the third one.
On the regular.
Yeah.
Well, and they got another dude. What's his name?
Corey Mills. So, but listen to how I say this, though. We want to treat women with the same respect, and I'm not a feminist, but we want to treat women with the same respect we treat men.
Mm-hmm.
When they ran Congressman Eric Swalwell out of office, saying all the sexual things that he allegedly did wrong, when you do a internet search, you'll see we have like 80 or 50 to 80 allegations of Congress members in the last few years, and only a few have left. Only a few. So you didn't go after all these other men, because these ain't women acting a fool. These are men acting a fool, and I'm not going to say that in every case when a man's accused of sexual misconduct that is correct. I'm not that person either. But what I want to see is consistency. So when I hear Congresswoman Nancy May say, we want to hold people accountable. Well, hold on a second. You want to hold people accountable, but you saw another woman, former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, get run out of office with death threats. I didn't see you coming to her rescue. And when I defended Marjorie Taylor Greene, I got attacked. And she was a Republican white woman. Now I'm defending a black woman. So it appears that I'm defending women, but what I'm really defending is equality between men and women. I stopped there.
So
listen, I feel you. My thing is, when I looked at, and I've been following her story since it broke.
Yeah.
And when I look at the facts, I see a position that is indefensible. I'll give you a real quick example. Here we had a judge named P.K. George who just got run out of office for taking money from his campaign.
It's almost comical.
But his story was he lent his campaign money and then he paid himself back from the campaign. Now that should be an easy transaction. They had a whiteboard up there that had stars and stripes on it. That had so many lines on it. And I'm sitting here like, isn't that simple? I lend my campaign $48,000 and then I get my $48,000 back from the campain. That's like a two-way. That's a debit and credit.
What's funny is
you can lend.
That's just literally dumb
lend your
and
campaign
slower.
money.
Hey,
but it's a debit and it's a credit.
Lynn,
he got convicted, suspended, and now tossed because his lawyer couldn't put that transaction up there on a whiteboard.
But you know what, Lynn?
Yes.
And I say this to Mr. Brooks too. The only reason why my black ass is not in jail, and I say that affectionately, because I funded all of my campaigns on my own. Because when you're running for political office, you better be Ross Perot and self-fund and don't take any money from any super PAC or anybody else that can be misconstrued. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Lynn. I was gonna text you. When I start reading about the campaign election laws and all of that, I thought, I think I need a tax advisor and I need a political consultant and I need a finance person to tell me that if we get money from so-and-so for this PAC or for this situation, that we're not doing it incorrectly. Because if we are, you're gone.
No, you do. You absolutely do.
Well, then it's not as quite as This is why my heart
but it's still with this particular thing, I lend and I pay back, that's a debit and a credit.
But in her case, allegedly, because she hasn't had her day in court, so we don't want to convict people in court. So allegedly,
is she going to go to court?
Huh?
Is she going to go to court?
Yeah, in the federal court down the federal Southern District in Florida. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She's in charge. She's in case. My thing is, if FEMA really gave her company over $5 million, they should not have given her company allegedly. Then you think the company would have said, "Oh, this is a mistake. He gave us too much money. Let's give it back." Allegedly, but they didn't. Allegedly, she took the money and then she gave it to her family and friends and said, "Hey, donate this to my first campaign run for Congress." I think she is not the only person, and I'm not trying to say that justifies it, but I think when it comes to funding your campaign, if your campaign manager is your wife or your husband, they're going to do anything and everything to fund that campaign. And it may be in some cases legally wrong. And therefore, you should have someone else that is so strict on money. Right. Like if I gave you $100 then and say, "Hey, I got to come back 6 months to get my $100. I don't go back to Lynn in 6 months. You say, "Well, hey man, look, Stephanie had to have her hair and nails done, and shit, I had to do what I had to do. I'm gonna get you this $100 back to you in a couple more months." No, Lynn's gonna say, "Oh, here's $100. Oh, but I want you to pay this life insurance policy. So let's talk about that first." But some people, when you give them money, they'll have every excuse to not give you the money back. So when you find someone you can trust on money and they're going to advise you correctly and not steal your money, you hold on to that person like you hold on to your mother, because you'll never get another person like that. In her case, she's trying to do all these incredible things. Go ahead, Mr. Brooks. Go ahead.
No, that's so true. I 100%.
Yeah, so she's trying to do all these incredible things as a woman, a black woman. They claim she's a Haitian descendant or from Haiti. So she has all this pressure to win. She aligns herself with the Democrats because black women have been telling me for the last 5 to 10 years that the Democratic Party is their party. Now, that's what black women have been telling me, that the Democratic Party is their party. So she's doing all this work, married to a lawyer. You think he would have her back to make sure everything's on the up and up. So I don't think she intentionally tried to defraud anybody.
So the $5 million is for what?
They said there was an accounting error, that FEMA gave an extra $5 million that should have been returned back to FEMA. Now here's the question, and I ask people this all the time, especially black folks. You file your taxes, you say, "Man, I'm supposed to get back $500. They give you back $25,000.
Right.
Well, Mr. Lynn, you better go on and tell the IRS they overpaid you, and you send that money back. Be a patriotic American. Lynn, they're taking that money. I can't find Lynn. Lynn's gone.
Listen. So here's what happens. Here's what everybody, because there's a woman. She might be a Florida woman. She got paid $1,600 an hour instead of $16 an hour for a 12-hour shift.
Oh yeah.
So she had over $20,000 extra in her bank account.
And where did she work?
And then the boss politely asked her, we missed the decimal point for that money back. And she refused to give it back to him. So now guess where she is?
Jail.
She's in jail. She refused to give it back. Hold on. And she spent it.
Yeah.
Now, had she given it back, what would have happened to her?
She'd be a hero.
No. What would have happened to her work and her freedom?
She would still
have her job.
Yeah.
She would have her job. And she wouldn't be in jail. I can give you an example. I had a guy that worked for me. When the check arrived, instead of typing in the amount of the investment, whoever typed in the date.
Oh no!
It was June something, so it ended up being $6 million.
Oh my God!
So he got a commission check for $175,000.
Oh my God!
He rolled into my office. I said, "Well, Ben, where we going?" And he was like, "I don't want this." So they sucked it back. It was a direct deposit. So they sucked it back out of his account and everything was fine.
But
because it was a clerical error at the investment house.
So wait a minute, listen to this. And this has nothing to do with race. Whether she was white, black, Republican, or Democrat, when you're running for office and you got 100 million people coming at you, telling you what to do, how to dress, blah, 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 and you're trying to be on point so you can meet your donors where they're at, you're not watching all the financial statements.
Richard,
I do not believe that she intentionally.
Richard, if you're missing $5 million, you should not be in office.
Wait a minute.
That's my belief.
No.
That's
when
what
the
I
money,
believe.
hold on. When the money came to that company, her family's company, she wasn't in. I do not believe she was in charge of that financial account. So allegedly, because I'm saying this is all alleged because she hasn't been convicted in court yet. They said that she took the money and gave it to her family and friends and said, "Hey, give it back to my campaign." Now those are allegations. But if you're truly not in tune with how election laws work as regarding financing, political financing, then you may think that you're doing the right thing.
You might think that giving money to somebody so they can pay someplace else is good.
Those are the allegations.
I know, but that's not my question, Richard.
Right.
If someone believes that that is okay, should they be in leadership?
Those are allegations. We don't know why.
No, stop. No. You're answering a different question.
Okay.
Forget her.
Okay.
Leader A gives money to the people and tells the people to send that money to my campaign. Should Leader A be in leadership? No, I'll answer for you.
He's trying to figure out how to say it.
His lips. He was supposed to say it. But so that's what this is.
Yeah. And the question that I have.
And you're right. It don't matter what your sex is. It don't matter what your race is. This is
an integrity
dollars and cents.
Yeah.
So
and listen, when you high up in corporate America, because this happened all the time, the number one way they can get you, and I forget the guy's name, but he was the CEO of Hewlett Packard.
Right.
They got him for expenses. Expenses, because he was seeing an underling
miscellaneous.
Yeah, he was seeing an underling at Hewlett Packard and was putting it on his expense account. And that's the number one way they get you. And it could be as simple as a movie that you watched in the hotel while you were traveling. That's how they get you. And if you don't understand that, and they don't get you right away, they say, you know what, let me put this in the pile. Yeah. So if I ever need to do Richard,
they build a case.
I got this in Richard's file. I ain't gonna do nothing with it right now.
Wait, hold on.
Watched White Chicks at the hotel when he was traveling and submitted it for his expenses. I ain't gonna do nothing with it right now, but I'm gonna put it in your Brown file. So if I ever need to do Richard, I got it.
Why do you have to use white women and me? Hold on, you know what's funny? Check this out.
Because you Marjorie Taylor Greene, you opened the door.
No, because wait a minute. Because I want people to really hear this.
Did you see White Chicks?
I never saw the movie. So check this out.
Oh, it's classic.
It's the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, I know. But I never watched it.
Oh, man.
Okay.
But listen to this about fairness. When black men were being pulled over a few years ago and being arrested by police, black folks as a whole, I would say 60 to 70, 80% were like, the cops were wrong in every single case. And I said, let's look at this case by case. Okay? And I got jumped on. Not by y'all, but by other people. Okay. And I said the Black Lives Matter movement is not always cracked up to be. I said, if any of that money comes up missing or misappropriated, you've destroyed the whole movement. All right. But yet in this case, we're this educated black woman trying to lead by example and help those in need as a Democrat. And black women have been saying they are the backbone of the party. And that's why Mr. Glass said, hey, what's really going on here? Shouldn't the Democratic Party have come to her rescue? Or is the Democratic Party still mad about Kamala Harris losing the election? And they saying, well, we don't want her either. So what do you really...
What are you to elaborate to educate me on how you rescue her from this dilemma?
Because there are allegations. Listen. When black men get accused of crimes, the first thing we say, we want our day in court.
Right.
That's the first thing we say as a black community for an African-American man who's been accused of a crime. We want our day in court. So I want the same thing for a black woman. I want her day in court. But then I go and say, for equality's sake, for righteousness' sake, every person, regardless of their color, religion, or sexual orientation, or political affiliation, in this great country should have their day in court. She never got her day in court.
Yeah, but see, Richard, that's not how it works with a job. She's going to court, right?
In Florida, yeah.
Now, if she's found totally innocent, you know what she could do?
Come back.
She could come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she could come back like she never left. So she's going to get her day in court. But when you mess up on your job, now, do you know why she quit rather than be fired?
They said allegedly she was going to get expelled.
Whatever. I'm just simplifying it for the public. You know why she quit rather than be fired?
Because she didn't want to be dragged.
No. Money.
That's what I read.
It's
money.
always money.
Pension.
Yeah.
Pension. Yeah. When you resign, guess what you get to keep?
Your pension.
Was she in there long enough to get a pension? I don't think so.
Oh, it doesn't take long.
No, I think you have to be in here for at least 2 terms, I thought, and at a certain age.
I don't think it's that long.
I don't think
two of her terms they're 2-year terms.
Yeah,
but that's why you quit. That's why you quit, as opposed to being fired or expelled or terminated.
We'll let Mr. Glass,
whatever you want to call it. Huh?
All right, so we'll let Mr. Glass look up to see when is a federal leader from either house eligible for their pension at what age and for how many terms.
It's probably different for House and Senate because they have 2 different term limits.
Okay, so we'll do it for House.
It should be, but I wrote it down as a note to look that up because I want to look that up. But if memory serves me right, it's not a long time.
But check this out, because she only did 1 term, I believe.
I think that's all it takes.
When they ran out, and this is how I'm gonna say this. Governor Cuomo of New York a few years ago, he was going in on Trump. So when a New Yorker goes in on another New Yorker, it's all fair game because they know how to get on each other's nerves. East Coast cats versus East Coast cats. So they brought up about him and the women and all these allegations, and they pressured him. The Democratic Party said, "You got to resign," and these women are going to file these criminal charges against you. When he resigned, guess what? They dropped those charges. So sometimes, go ahead, Mr. Glass. Go ahead.
So this is the point that I'm trying to make, right? I've seen in my finite years of following politics, I've seen Republican candidates speak of atrocities that they've committed, and not one single Republican that backed him gave him up. They maintained that candidate until that candidate got to the White House and continued to maintain and protect and shield and pivot and everything that they needed to and could do, regardless of if he had 34 felonies, regardless of if he was found civilly liable for sexual assault, regardless of any circumstance, or not just this here. This is what I'm saying is any situation. They maintained not so much his innocence, but they maintained his power and his influence. The Republican Party did that strategically on purpose. They don't give their candidates up easily, regardless of
just like
they gave up the dude in Texas.
But just like
with
Trump.
No, that was because of Swalwell.
They gave up the dude in Texas.
No, wait, no, they didn't. They only let him go because Swalwell was resigning. So that was an agreement between both parties.
No. He was. They just kind of look. Hold on, I'm here.
I'm sorry.
Once again, I'm here on the ground in Texas.
Okay.
Whether Swalwell messed up or not, he was gone.
Okay, so is this actually?
You know why he was gone? Because the woman burned herself on fire.
Yeah.
She killed herself by burning herself up.
So I have to wait.
He could not survive that. And Republicans were not having his back like he was orange with blonde hair.
So I have to respectfully disagree because the minute Eric Swalwell, former Congressman Eric Swalwell, said, I'm going to resign from Congress. Within 15 minutes, the other guy did too. So it's not by coincidence.
But the other guy was ahead of him. The other guy, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The other guy was ahead of him.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not. Then why did he resign before Eric Swalwell resigned? He was not going to resign.
Listen, Richard, he decided what he said was, I'm just going to finish out my term.
Yeah.
Then they said, oh, since we're gonna have this hearing anyway,
right?
We're gonna put both of you on it. And then he said, well, you know what? Since y'all won't let me finish out my term, then I'm going to resign. But he was done. He was finished.
So
all he was going to do was just serve out to December.
He was going to ride it out
and collecting checks.
Yeah,
he was a lame duck politician. He was finished, and they did not have his back.
So the question that I have,
because it depends on the crime.
Listen, I'm not going to argue that. What I'm simply going to say is, even though you say he was a lame duck, he was going to finish out his term. Then why didn't he finish out his term? Because they were going
to run him out.
Oh, so wait a minute.
And he was going to lose his what?
His pension.
Okay, no. Hold on.
He was going to lose his pension.
Okay. So check this out. Check this out. Because we talking. So we're gonna talk a little bit. So when I looked up really quick, if I'm looking this up correctly, to be eligible for the House, you have to serve a minimum of 5 years in Congress to qualify for a pension. Members can retire at 62 with at least 5 years of service. Early retirement is possible at age 50 with 20 years of service. So let's go back to Sheila, because these are facts.
Okay.
All right. So allegedly, if Wikipedia is correct, allegedly, they say that this beautiful, they say here it is. They say, oh, Congressman.
So that's Senator House.
This beautiful congressman is age 47, and she went into office on January 18th, 2022, and she left office April 21st. She has not made 5 years, and therefore she did not get her pension.
Again?
She's close.
And therefore, she did not get her pension because she was only in office 4 years.
Yeah, she hit 4. She should have
did
rolled it
not
out.
get her pension.
Okay, all right. So, Richard,
that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal.
All right, but see, listen.
Okay.
If she is able to somehow come back, she picks up where she left off.
Okay.
That's why you preserve that vesting schedule.
Okay. Let me throw this out there. And the reason why I'm asking this, and I'm going down this moral landscape, as it were, is going back to the midterms. If we see that the Democrats take both the House and the Senate, is this a case that they can begin to build to push moral sanity towards impeachment?
Yes.
Another impeachment.
Impeachment of who?
Because remember,
the president.
So impeach Trump again. But I said this over. I'm sorry, Stephanie. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying another impeachment.
Yeah,
look, you want him out?
Sure.
Then that's what you got to do.
But wait,
that's what you got to do.
But I said this over a year ago. I said, if the Democrats, if they can take the House, and this impeachment will not take no 6 months to no year. That thing's gonna be done within 90 days. So that would be, I guess, his third impeachment from the House. Because remember, when they went after Cesar Chavez, I said, that's not who they want to go after. Then they went after Eric Swalwell. That's not who they want to go after.
Who's your they? Who's your they with Cesar?
The Democratic Party. They went after him because the Republicans didn't care about Cesar Chavez. The Democratic Party went after one of their Latino favorites from years ago. They said, we don't care about you. You did all these things wrong with these women, allegations. He never had his day in court because he was dead. You kind of tried to destroy his legacy. The Republicans are sitting back watching this saying, well, if you're going to destroy his legacy, we're going to go after Dr. King and try to destroy his too. Okay. Then the Democratic Party said, we'll go after Swalwell, the sister here, get her out of here too. And all these black women who've been so down for the Democratic Party that when they look at me and say, we don't like who you are because you don't support us, you're not a Democrat. We think you're a Republican. And even though I'm not a Republican and I defend black women, whether they're conservative or liberal, I don't see these, quote, liberal black women of the Democratic Party coming to say, hold on, you ain't gonna do my sister like this. These are allegations. Give us her day in court.
In court.
So
Richard, here in Texas, Governor Abbott did Chavez.
Yep.
A Republican governor. Got rid of all things Cesar Chavez.
Wow.
So the Republicans like doing
Abbott, Republican governor of Texas.
Wait a minute. Listen how I said this. I said the Democrats went after Chavez so they can go on after Trump again. Because they said we did it to our own, we'll do it to you. The Republicans are going after Chavez so they can go after Dr. King and get that national holiday eliminated. See, this is all
Richard has his conspiracy theory. But listen. What we are doing here is bringing color to your story. It was a joint effort. Both Republicans and Democrats decided.
Oh my God!
Again, for good cause, to not put any more money or energy or sell a celebration towards someone who was found to be guilty of sexual atrocities.
Who?
I'm
Cesar
glad.
Chavez? You never had his day in court.
Huh? You don't need a day in court.
Huh?
You don't need a day in court.
Texas governor.
When a serial killer, when a shooter, a school shooter gets mowed down after he's killed 21 students, does he need a day in court?
So
does he?
Mr. Brooks.
Oh, Mr. Brooks. I have a question on the table. Does the school shooter, does the Sandy Hook guy,
wait a minute, Mr. Medeiros.
Does he need his day in court?
Mr. Medeiros.
After killing younglings,
Mr.
does he need his day in court?
We are a country of laws. We enforce our laws equally.
But he said if the shooter gets killed during the crime, does he need a day in court for us to know?
Does the shooter need his day in court? No. I'll answer for you. No.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. We as African Americans, we believe that the law should be applied equally. That's what we've been screaming about from the time we arrived over here. No. Wait a minute. No. Because what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. We must apply the law in all situations. We don't handpick. Because when we start handpicking who gets what, our black asses get left out.
What do you do when the person is dead and can't have their day in court?
Okay. In that situation, he doesn't go down as a convicted killer. By popular opinion, they may say he was a serial killer, but he was not legally convicted.
Okay. So guess what? Mm-hmm. Who cares about the C word in that instance?
Okay.
Because the truth is what?
Okay.
He killed 20 some odd students and teachers, and now he's dead. That's the truth.
So what you're doing, Mr. Medeiros.
Do I care if he was convicted or not?
Mr. Medeiros, what you're doing is you're going from what's reasonable to what is the law, and sometimes they both don't coincide. Okay, that's fine. All
right, but guess what? So if Cesar Chavez is dead, but it has still been found.
No, it wasn't found because he was never on the court. No.
Beyond all doubt.
Oh, listen, Mr. Brooks.
Richard, this comes down to what we believe.
Mr. Brooks.
Listen. I believe he did the shit.
Okay, that's your belief.
But when I'm in love with the word allegedly, and that's your business.
No. Because
I'm not here to change you, Richard.
Hey, Mr. Brooks. Is he there?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Richard.
Well, there you are. I was wondering if you was going to tap in there, Brooks.
Check this out, Mr. Brooks. I want Mr. Brooks to understand that on this panel, there is somebody who believes in equality. when you and I were agreeing we have to secure our border, some people on this panel were looking at me sideways. Ooh. But now when I'm defending,
who's looking sideways about securing the border?
Deflecting.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm the one who had to give a border lesson that when you walk through the border, you are.
I was
legal.
looking at it like this: if
you're legal,
if
Is that your tag team partner?
Caesar Chavez, no, wait. If Caesar Chavez just did this, then great. Well, like, I would look at like where are the children, and if they're his children, then okay, then you know the story is true. If it's not, then you have to like be like, okay, be open and be like, okay, maybe this is not true, and the person just said stuff. I don't know. I believe in like finding out the truth. The simple factor of that.
What's so funny to me?
Make the allegation, and you can't make the allegation, and then you just don't like search for the kids. You can't, because otherwise, like then you can. No, making an allegation is so. That means you can say anything about me or you, and like. And it's not true, and like you're just like whatever. It's like the allegation, you just ruin somebody's life.
Oh wow, we wouldn't want to ruin a dead man's life, would we?
Oh no! I mean, like you have to like find out the truth.
Yeah, you know what's funny about this? Richard brings up fairness. You know how many people have to accuse me of sexual assault? For SWAT to come pounding down the door right now. You know how many accusations I need?
One.
Not 34. Not look, not 60 like Cosby. One.
You on mute, Rich. You on mute.
Now where's the fairness in that?
Disagreeing.
Where's the fairness in that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So like a person Cesar Chavez has died what 30 years ago? I'm not sure the specific date. So you have to be like, hey, you have to like find out if what this lady is saying is true.
It's not just one lady.
The matter of fact, actually, it's important that you do because then you can be like, oh, okay,
yeah,
she's telling the truth, and whether she did it for the reasons that she said it or not, or she has the 2 kids that she said she did. Then you can be like, oh, all right, fuck this guy. I'm out, right? Well, like, take all the statues down. But, you gotta at least, like, do your due diligence.
Well, Richard, the due diligence was done. I mean, Brooks, the due diligence was done, and people concluded that we have enough evidence to reach this conclusion.
So but listen to this, and I want people who watch this show to understand something. When I demand justice for Black folks and we want our day in court, then I must equally demand it for all other people outside the community as well.
Sure.
I don't go by popular belief. I don't go by popular opinion. I go by the laws. So when Black men are accused of doing crimes, I want them to have their day in court. And then when they don't get their day in court, then I accuse white people of being racist. So I want the same thing for white people and Mexicans and everybody else in this country to have their day in court. And then once the jury renders the verdict, if I don't like it, then I say, okay, they had a day in court. I don't like the ruling. Can we go to the appeals level? Can we go to the state or the U.S. Supreme Court for a final ruling? And if I still don't like the rulings after that, then I can exercise my freedom of speech. But we must allow people their day in court, especially as Black people. We should know better than anybody. You know, when my great-grand uncle was lynched, July 10th, 1897, he never got his day in court. They lynched him. So when people say things to me, I try to contain my emotions, but this is kind of a personal situation. So that when my aunties and uncles could not talk about a relative who was lynched, and this was racism. He was lynched because he had raped a white woman, but he didn't rape the white woman. But he was accused of raping a white woman. And this is why I say you have to look at each case by case.
You do.
So let people allow the evidence to be entered in court.
You do. But when there's a preponderance
You still have
evidence against this person. You can then reach a reasonable conclusion that they did something wrong.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Because for the person who wants their day in court, they want their day in court. And for this black woman, Sheila Cherafoulis McCormick, I want her. I can't say her name correctly.
She's getting her day in court.
She has not had her. She has not had her day in court in Florida.
Listen, you don't get your day in court before you lose your job.
That's wrong too. I don't agree with that.
All right, so in Richard's world, before anyone gets fired, they should have a court date.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And all these black men in the NFL who's been run out of their jobs in the NFL who didn't have their court date yet. I'm being consistent in my blackness on equality. I want people to have their day in court. Not no allegation.
That's how work works.
No, I don't. Well, that's wrong how that works. Because I thought in this country you were innocent.
President here, because like if you get accused of something, if you really get accused, wait, if you get accused of something, and like they're wrong, and like whatever it may.
Get accused of what?
Can I have a? Can I finish, please? If you get accused of something and you're wrong, and whoever's accusing is wrong, and you get something in court, and they're like realize, oh shit, they're freaking wrong about it. That like hurts a person, right? It wrecks their life. That wrecks their reputation. That wrecks their like the whole like what they've been building up for. And everything like that, and that sucks because like it really actually damages like the momentum of what they've been doing. That's all I'm saying. And if you're right and they were wrong, then get them. Cool. But like you gotta give somebody an opportunity to like actually be free of what they didn't do. I believe in that because like it's important. Because like,
question: before I fire my handyman, what court are we going to? So he can have his day in court before I fire my handyman.
That's your choice, sir.
You didn't answer my question.
What if he's right and you're wrong?
Small claims court.
Huh? I fired him.
What if he's right and you're wrong then? That's
but I have fired him. When does he get his day in court?
You fire your handyman. He's trying to fix your water, and he's right, and you're like, oh, screw it. My water's still messed up. Then he was right, and when you get to hire a new handyman, and the handyman says the same thing that your old handyman said. Wait, stop.
Richard, do you have an answer to my first question regarding my handyman?
The same thing that your old handyman says.
Huh?
And then you're
Richard,
like,
do you have an answer to my court date question regarding my handyman that I just fired?
Yeah, if he decides, he can take you to court.
For what?
For illegal termination.
What's illegal about me firing him?
Because there's a misunderstanding of the agreement. So that's why they have small claims court. That's why they have Judge Judy and Judge Brown.
It's not even like a misunderstanding.
If you
fire the guy and you're wrong, then you're wrong, dude.
Wrong about what?
If you fire your handyman, quote unquote, this is the use case we're talking about, and you're freaking wrong, dude, and you got a new handyman, and he says the same thing as your old handyman says.
Wrong about what? What if I ask my handyman to be here at 10 and he comes at 11? I say, you know what? You're fired.
I didn't say that. You didn't say a different time thing. I'm talking about the solution to the problem.
Yeah. That's what happens on job sites. If you have, I used to be a carpenter, and if you show up on that job site too many times late,
you're fine.
They're going to tell you, hey, we're going to remedy your services in the mail in about 2 weeks, but don't come back. Go ahead and go home.
And what happens if you come back to that job site?
Anybody showing up late. I'm talking about somebody showing up on time. Diagnoses the situation.
You are consistently not answering the question that was asked.
And keep adding on.
I said the brother was an hour late, and I fired him.
If he was late, well, then he's violated the terms of the agreement.
Fine.
You know,
where's the day in court?
Hold hold on. His day is court if he decides to go to court and take you to court. That's his day in court. So yeah, you may have already fired him, but if he decides, hey, I got fired wrongly because of a misunderstanding of the agreement through text message or
No,
written
you
contract.
were late. There's no misunderstanding.
Hold on. In that particular wait.
See, my stepdad, we had when I was living with him for like a year, he had a painter to come in, and we used to always laugh because if you said you were Christian, he'd just hire you, but that's all you had to say, right? And a job that was supposed to take a week ended up taking like 2 months, and it was never finished because he ended up firing the guy. He would come over late all the time. He would eat out of our refrigerator.
Oh, he was at home.
Oh yeah, look, and he, and his grandmother died like 10 times, and he was about 60. He was 60 something. We was like, dang, So after a while, because my stepdad was like, I'm gonna keep giving him another chance. He, was down on his luck and all this kind of stuff. After a while, he just came strong. He was like, you know what? This is not working. I spent more money on groceries.
Linda Stephanie, who actually badass people, by the way.
Excuse me.
Early is on time.
Hold
on time is
on, Brooks. Hold on, Brooks.
Let her finish.
Thank you. He could take him to small claims court if he wanted to, but he wouldn't even have the money because he was waiting to get paid again. He was clocking in.
Right.
So I mean, you can go to small claims court if you want to, but if you fire someone for whatever reason, that's your prerogative, and you can take them to small claims court. But good luck with that. We're talking about negligence here, and like when he was talking about with the Sandy Hook or any type of shootings like that, when you have the suspect at hand, yeah, if they are alive, they deserve their day in court. They will get their day in court. But if they are dead, then there is no day in court.
Richard, right. They might even get a Whopper from Burger King.
Right.
Dylan did. If you kill the right 9 black people at church, might even get a Whopper at Burger King.
But this goes back to this beautiful black woman who resigned from Congress over allegations. We as African Americans should be super sensitive to allegations of misconduct aimed at other black people, because it should be a case by case. It should be a case by case situation, because historically, African Americans have been accused of crimes they did not do and never got their day in court. They were lynched. Not just my great grand uncle; they were lynched. Mm-hmm. So that's why I feel so emotionally attached. But if I take away my emotions from this issue and just look at it by the laws of the country, every person should have their day in court regarding criminal matters. Civil is a different situation, but criminal matters, you should have your day in court to defend yourself. Have a day in court.
I look at it like you know what? Like, if I'm accused of something and I didn't do it, I should have my day in court and I'll be able to prove it, right? Dude, I would say it to you, Mr. President, and Mr. Glass, and Miss lady, and Mr. Maderos. I would say, like, even in Lodge, like, when you get accused of something you didn't do, it almost makes you want to fucking do it. You're
I'm a bit more disciplined than that.
I'm saying it right. Maybe I've been saying it wrong, but like,
I'm a bit more disciplined than that. So
yeah, you know what I mean?
This is the point that I wanted to make. But this is the point that I wanted to make, and Lynn actually said it.
Wait, can I finish, sir?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So when I'm like, oh my God, guys, I didn't do this. Matter of fact, it makes me want to do it now. And I'm like, oh hell, like you want to talk about villainless, like oh yeah, now you want like villainly, oh hell yeah, I'm in. Then you see what you're focused on, what you're supposed to do, what you're trying to help, and what you're trying to build, and then you're like, okay, you know what, I got to do it right. Yes, I want to do this because they accused me of doing this, even though I didn't do it. eek. But
That's
when you don't do it and you look forward through the situation and you like look past it and you do better, it changes things.
and it can.
And a lot of people might say like, "Hey, you know what? We're wow, you know what? We see that you didn't do it." And then they're like, "Oh, our bad." And yeah, it takes time to like fix it. Right? It just takes time to fix the like accusing, like, oh, you did this.
But let me throw this out here, right? The reason why I was saying this, Lynn hit the nail on the head, and then we drove past it, but we gotta rewind it because again, this is a political atmosphere, and they don't do anything they don't do anything without personal gain from it. There's a projection that they're having. What you said is something that is beginning to become a reoccurring theme, and we should actually be somewhat concerned about it. And that's that the Republicans and the Democrats are both working together with getting people out of office based off of what we can consider some form of moral turpitude, right? There's a moral issue that they're trying to weed them out of. And that's a scary thing. Because now, remember, the American public has a very short memory. They're going to forget about all the other crap that's been done, and they're going to look back and say, "Oh, well, no," because remember they reached across the aisle, and then they removed Congresswoman McCormick. They got rid of Schwartz. They got rid of this person, that person, and they did it in a bipartisan manner. Wait,
not quite, because Mills is still there.
But for now,
Mills is still there.
Yeah, that's why I said for now.
Mills is next.
Yes.
Yes.
And so when they begin to work together like this in consortium or in tandem, it's never a good thing in the end. They're setting us up for something. And that
now, Jay,
wait a minute.
Jay, what I'll say is the way the two parties are different is the way I've seen the Democrats move is that if you've done some shit, they don't want to roll. They're not going to have your back. On the Republican side,
they're gonna hold on to you
when you do some shit, because I think it's almost like if you've ever hired somebody that wasn't working out, but if he's your personal hire or she, you take longer to fire them because their failure at the job is a reflection of you. And that's the way I see the Republicans. When a Republican person does some shit, they see it as a reflection of them, and they go and they die on that hill. The Democrats on the other side, I've seen them behave like, okay, the way you're behaving, we don't play that here. So you on your own.
Now,
and I actually have no problem with the way the Democrats do it. Like, what's the guy up in New Jersey that had the gold and the cash?
Menendez?
Yes.
Menendez?
Yes. As soon as that stuff broke,
they
was out.
Yeah.
Because you got gold bars. He got gold bars and cash.
You know what?
No. We don't want to be associated. We don't want to be associated that. But the Republicans will say, yeah, I'll associate with a felon. I'll associate with a pedophile. I'll associate with
Hold on, Mr. Medeiros.
I'll associate with him because I can get power and influence and money
Mr.
by my association with him.
Mr. Medeiros.
When I no longer can,
you
know what, Mr. Medeiros? Hold on, Mr.
I'll bring them out. I'll bring them like a rag.
Mr.
Medeiros. I no longer can get a drip or drop out.
Mr. Brooks. Mr. Medeiros has been very passive aggressive in that last sentence. He's so smooth.
I can read right through you, Richard. I can smell you through this screen.
I know you can.
How you know who he was talking about? Because there have been other people. There have been other people associated with
Mr. Medeiros
that be considered pedos.
No. First, he set up his life insurance policy and said, "Oh, everything's good. Democrats do it like this. Republicans do it like this." And then, right when you get ready to say, "Okay," then he throws in that last hook to undercut the Republican Party. Here's my thing. because he may be right.
What I believe in, and as Mr. Brooks, I believe it. I don't like talk like shit about people. Like I love the conversation. I think it's important. Right, you know, like I look at like Rod Blagojevich, right? Is Senator of Illinois, I think it was.
Blagojevich,
no. Governor of Illinois, who then tried to buy Obama's seat.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
sell. He tried to sell
Obama's seat. Sell.
You know, I look at that situation. You're like, oh, guys, hey, that's stupid. And he got caught. And the worst part about it, they were like, oh, like, well, that was a bad thing he did. And then, like, it took time for them to, like, get him out.
Who pardoned him, bro?
Donald Trump did.
They
But you know what? Here's the funny thing. Donald Trump pardoned the former governor. But here's the funny thing about this. And this is why I get bent out of shape. When you allow your Congress people from both houses, I mean, the Senate and the House, to trade on Wall Street before they take votes, you're automatically allowing corruption in the greatest form possible. So until you clean that up, then don't you come after that beautiful black woman down in Florida. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't.
Unfortunately, they're done with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Democratic Party, listen to this. Hold on. The Democratic Party is done with this beautiful black woman, highly educated, that was trying to help her district.
Richard, how you gonna say highly educated, but she can't track $5 million?
Okay. Again, I don't believe an allegation because she's never had her day in court. So these are just allegations you believe.
She will, okay, and good. I'm looking forward to the breakdown to see.
Okay, good.
What happened.
And if she's convicted, then I'll come on here and say, well, she had her day in court and she's convicted. I hear that she's having an appeal process. So let's let the appeals process play out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all for that because I don't know everything that is going on, like you say, with the accusation. So I look forward to seeing it peeled, the onion peeled. And because I am really curious, like, what the hell? Why are they coming after her like that? What the hell did she do? $5 million? Like, I want to know.
All I know
first, though, she was first.
Right.
On the chopping block. Before Gonzalez, before Swalwell, she was standing there all alone.
Right. But here's what I do know. Black women for the last 10 years have told me we are the backbone of the Democratic Party. They've got me convinced. Now, they couldn't prove it factually, but they had me convinced. They had me believing in the power of the black woman. Okay, fair enough. All I want to know is, now that she's had to leave under the threat of expulsion, I want to see black women come to her rescue because she's a Democrat. There's a lot of black women in the Democratic Party. I want to come see you put your arms around her and say, well, girl, what happened? What can we do? Did you do wrong? How soon can we get you in court? Blah, 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 blah. That's what I want to see. Because when I see that,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to be like, oh, shit. You know what? Why not embarrass ourselves? Why not put ourselves in that corner? Wait for it. You'll see. They're not going to do it. They're going to be quiet, cool, calm, collective. And they're like, no, you know what? I don't want to be in that fucking corner because, that's the way it is. They're not going to do like, and then we'll wait. And I could be wrong. And again, I will say the same thing you just said. I'll be like, you know what? I was wrong, but I don't think they're going to fucking stand up for her at all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Brooks, but I also agree with Lynn because they shouldn't. They shouldn't. She really doesn't have much of a leg to stand on. And
Wait, hold on a second. But black folks can get up off their ass and go marching for George Floyd and all these other brothers under questionable situations. They can do that shit. But this black woman who's educated, representing down in Florida, they can't come for her rescue? Oh, bullshit.
They won't. No.
Bullshit. No,
I'm not saying that they can't.
Battle protesters walking their asses around here for these questionable situations with cops. I'm not saying the cops are right. I'm not saying the cops are wrong. Depends on the situation. So you get your black ass out there and do all that political marching for them. But this beautiful black woman with a clean criminal record, highly educated, you can't march for her ass. Fuck
No,
that.
they won't.
Educated.
Did I call you black? Did I call you? That's that culture bullshit. That's that damn culture bullshit. I told you I'm for the community. I'm old school. All that culture. Oh, I'm down for my people. And you calling each other the N-word from the white folks on rap songs. I'm marching around with your pants sagging, gold in your grill, talking about George Floyd and all these other situations. But this beautiful black woman
we
that's under attack in Congress,
I don't say the N-word, but like,
They
even like I will not like one say the N-word, and two, as highly educated as I am, and I am, like I have 3 degrees. 3. I kicked ass to get to here where I am. But I'm telling you right now, this young lady, as much as like she can do all the things that like you say she can do, and hopefully that people will like have her back, it's not going to be true because they're going to want to protect themselves first. Period.
I don't want to hear no black women tell me they're the backbone of the Democratic Party. I don't want to hear that shit ever again.
Well, no, you're gonna have a problem because the votes are what they're talking about. Those are the people that end up voting. So
I tell you what,
whether you want to see it or not, I don't know if it
every time I hear a black woman talk about she's the backbone, every time I hear a black woman say she's the backbone of the Republican Party, who's your black ass? Who's your black ass?
Whatever they want to say, you just have to do it.
And trust me, I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna say, where was your black ass at when Sheila needed your help down in Florida? Where was your black ass at then? Where was the black caucus at then? You couldn't find those black folks on that Democratic white boy plantation. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk again on their ass.
You know what? I ever run for politics.
When it's time to show up for black folks won't do it. And that ain't the white boys' fault. That's our fault. I'm gonna show my ass up and I'm gonna fuck off.
Richard, does it count that she was on death row the longest?
And listen to this.
Hold on, let me hear.
Let me finish saying what I was trying to say during the rant. Right. Those black women were there to vote her into office.
True.
I didn't do that for an applause, but that's where the backbone part comes from.
No. When I
now that she's accused of something,
right?
Because she'll have her day in court,
right?
Then, if she is found, if she's found innocent, that's one thing. If she is found guilty, like Jay Glass said, they shouldn't support her. But if she's found innocent, then that's another thing. But also, to get her to where she is right now, that didn't have anything to do with the backbone of the Democratic Party.
And you know what? I tell you what, because I know you're right. You represent a large percentage of black women who are voters. But here's the funny thing. Since that is your mindset, when I see black women join the Republican Party, don't say shit to them. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you're on your own in black America. It doesn't matter what party you belong to, you are on your own when your ass get in trouble. My thing is this. These are allegations. I support this black woman, and I don't support the Democratic Party, but I support my own. Okay? Now, she goes to court, gets found guilty. You know what I'm going to say? Well, let's see if she does her appeals, and I wish she hadn't have done that, but I still love her, and I still respect her. Richard, I am not going to go against her.
Richard, what does it mean that she was on death row the longest?
I don't know. You tell me.
She's been on death row since last year.
Okay.
The other two dudes, they hit death row this year.
Okay.
So who do you think supported her that got her on death row the longest person on there?
Listen, and you may be, I don't know, but I don't know. Guess. I don't know because the Black Caucus never came out to defend her.
How do you know?
Because it would have been in the news media. That's how I know.
Everything that they do is in the news?
No, because now you're asking about being reasonable.
I'm asking you what you think, sir. And I know you think.
No, wait.
My point is, listen, since you don't know, and I don't know either, but I'll tell you what I believe. I believe that she had support or she would not have been on death row the longest.
Okay, so
somebody was supporting her.
Then
what happened was you had a situation with Gonzalez and a situation with the most coveted governor spot in the United States, your state, California. You had those two things pop up, and now you can't do them without saying, wait a minute, what about this other person over here who did some shit?
You know what? Let me tell you something. And I had to learn this. It's a funny thing about brothers in the street. I'm gonna bring you to a street terminology. Brothers in the street, they say, "Oh man, we got your back," but when shit hit the fan, I can't find your black ass. It's almost like on the playground. You on the playground about 6:30 at night. It's damn near 90 degrees. It's hot as hell. Man, we're gonna get out there. We're gonna win this game. You get out there and your teammates, they shooting every ball they get. They won't play elite defense. They won't pass the ball, and they won't rebound. But they talk about, man, we down. We want to win. Your black ass don't want to win. Because the minute shit got tough, I couldn't find your black ass. And don't fault the white boy for this. Don't fault the white boy on this. No, this is your own self-accountability. And all I'm simply saying is, I say a lot of things that, quote, black folks don't say. So black folks look at me a little funny ass. But when things get tough, when things get serious, that's when I show up. And that's why black folks have always said, well, Rich is kind of crazy. We thought he liked white girls. We thought he sounds white. But when things get tough, his black ass show up. Now, you can ask Mr. Glass about me. I'm a real one. And all I know is this. Black men and black women, we are fighting together, regardless of what party we belong to. Regardless if we're conservative or Democrat, at the end of the day, we are descendants of the enslaved African. I want to see this black woman exonerated. And if she did do wrong, I'm still going to put my arms around her. Now, if you take me to Jesse Jackson Jr., his little black snobbish ass up in Chicago, his little funny acting ass, I can't stand that little black man. He's a snob. I still love him, still respect his daddy, but he ain't about jack nothing.
And did he do the bad things that they said he did with money?
He got convicted. He went to federal penitentiary. Him and his wife.
Did he do those things?
Damn.
That's what they say.
Yeah, so you know what?
He had his name
Richard.
But I said I still love him, but I know he ain't about nothing.
Richard, in what world can you simply say somebody did some shit? Or is everything with you allegedly? Whether you're found not guilty or whether you're found guilty.
He had his day in court. He was convicted.
Yes. But but he didn't do it in your eyes.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. See, you're trying to take my words.
I said
when this sister, hold on. When this sister goes to court. No. I said when this sister goes to court in Florida, if she's found guilty, I'll say, hey, she had her day in court. She was found guilty. I hear she's doing the appeals process. I'm going to support her appeals process.
At what point are you going to say that in my 50 Cent voice, she did that shit? That's what I don't know about you, Richard. At what point?
Listen to what I said.
On the subway train.
Listen to what I'm saying, Mr.
Richard say he did that shit.
Mr. Medeiros, I said if she's found guilty, I'll say she was. Yeah, I'll say it for you again. I said she was found guilty. She's guilty, but she's going through her appeals process. Let's let the appeals process be played out. But she was found guilty in her
my
day
question still remains, Richard. At what point in your lifetime?
Now check this. Hold on.
You say
no. I ain't letting up on this shit. No, not tonight. Check this out. Check this out, Mr. Medeiros. Down south, years ago, when they had those all-white juries, when they had those all-white juries down in Mississippi, letting them white boys off, black folks said, we don't care what the jury said. We know Emmett Till was innocent. We know those other black folks were innocent. On that case, you didn't trust the jury. You didn't trust those white folks down south on them fucking juries. So don't talk double talk now when you have a jury to confirm your belief. So you are no different than a white boy. When the jury confirms his belief, he believes in the jury system, Donald Trump. When the jury goes against him, the white boy says, I can't trust the jury system. The system's rigged. We cannot act like Donald fucking Trump. Okay.
Well, that's the first time I've heard you say that.
I'm simply saying, I want this beautiful black woman. And she can be an ugly black woman, but to me, black women are not ugly. But I'm biased. Okay. So once this beautiful black woman has her day in court.
I still don't, you know, Richard, you know what I'm so sad about, Richard? I still don't have an answer to my question.
I answered your question. If she's found guilty, she's found guilty.
I'll ask it one more time. At what point does Richard say she did that shit?
After I hear the evidence.
Hold on. Or
after I hear the evidence.
Or she didn't do that shit.
After she has her day in court, I can read the ruling and see the evidence presented. Just like when I was telling you, hold on. Just like when I was telling you.
You said, then I'll say, I got to wait for her to appeal.
Because what I should have said was, I want to see the evidence. Because when I asked you guys to believe, you don't even know me from Tom, Dick, or Harry. I said, look, the union ran me out. You said, well, man, you sure? I said, here, I'm going to send you some of my documents so you can read through it and you can make your own determination. You said, okay, cool. All right. And then I showed you the videotape of me testifying in my oral presentation at the appeals court. Okay, great. So I'm being consistent. And this is where Mr. Glass kind of laughs because you guys don't know me the way he does. The same person he met years ago is the same person he knows now. I'm consistent. And that caused me a lot of hell with some of his family members, some of my family members, and a whole lot of people in the community. Because I'm consistent in my mindset, because I want fairness for everyone. But when I ask for fairness for everyone, when I ask white America for fairness, they say, oh, you're being sensitive about being black. When I ask black America for fairness, they say, oh, no, Richard, it depends. So all I'm asking for is a level of fairness for all people in America, regardless of their race or sex or sexual orientation or political affiliation.
I got you, fairness. I've got fairness.
I'm all about fairness.
That's all I'm asking.
What happens is when like let me just maybe I can explain it this way, because we have two different approaches to trust, fairness, and belief from what I see. When you tell me your story, before you give me documents, before you give me a video, you know what I chose to do? I chose to believe Richard's story. Because I'm a different dude. You know what I give everybody? I start you off with 100% trust.
Okay.
And if you fall from 100%, that's because of the way you behaved. But I start everybody off with 100%. Now, that has fucked me up on occasion. But I sleep better at night that way. Because what I see is most people, remember the science experiment when you were halfway to the wall and then halfway to the wall and then halfway to the wall? You never did that experiment? Well, the fact of the matter is, in reality, you never touch the wall because you keep going half the distance. So there's always a half between your sneakers and the wall. You feel what I'm saying? So with that approach, you never get to 100% trust. Like if you start somebody off at 50%, they never get to 100. So I start everybody off at 100% trust. My wife doesn't do that. That's what I do because I'm built different. And I don't take anything away from the way other people do it because I understand we're all built different.
My stepdad used to say, you either hang people at first and let themselves down, or else you give them enough rope to hang themselves. So that's basically what he's saying. You know,
here's what I see. Oftentimes we want to pick and choose when we want people to have their day in court, or when we want to allow popular opinion to rule the day. And I'm not like that. So I defended OJ years ago. And then eventually the black community as a whole came to defend OJ because of what he stood for and what he didn't stand for.
And then we all got played. No.
But you know what? I didn't know a black attorney called Johnny Cochran could be so exceptional. I didn't know. And I think, when God took Johnny, I said, yeah, he's that good. He's that good. So, I want everyone to have a fair opportunity. So when I'm arguing with white people, I want to make sure my argument stays consistent, because I have the type of white friends, if I'm being a hypocrite, they'll call me on it. And they don't get a chance to call me.
And you call them on it?
Because I have white friends who are Democrat and Republican. So, I'm catching hell, not just from black folks who are Democrat and Republican.
I have a question for you, Richard, because, and I want you to hear me out, because you keep saying people need their day in court. We never said that people shouldn't get their day in court, but the example that we used was Sandy Hook or even Cesar Chavez. They're two different things, but like even with the Sandy Hook thing, if the person is right there and they unalive themselves or kill themselves, there is no day in court. Cesar Chavez, even though it was a very long time ago that he died, there is no day in court. So we're not denying anybody their day in court. And with the lady that, I'm sorry, put her name up again, because this one got laid. I forgot her name. McCormick, yeah. Thank you, Sheila, Miss Sheila. Because whenever I hear Sheila, I think of Sheila Jackson Lee. That's another thing. But anyway, she will have her day in court. And the allegations against her they're crazy. But like with anything else, none of us know what's going on specifically. So when she does have her day in court, then the light will be shown. You know what I'm saying? We'll have the evidence, because I am so curious. I'm like, my first instinct is as a black woman is to be like, man, wait, that doesn't sound right. And, making sure that hopefully nobody's picking on her, but then I can't wait to see what these allegations are, because $5 million, my God, that is so much money. But then I also think all these other dudes doing all this crazy stuff, why they throwing her up here? But you know what? She's on the chopping block right now. And if they found this discrepancy, then I'm glad she gets her day in court. But I am so curious to what exactly happened and how, because you have a lot of leaders that say that they don't know everything that's going on in their company, especially when it's people misappropriation of funds and things like that, because you have different departments for that. But I am very curious, and I pray that again, if she is found guilty, then so be it. But if she is not, that she can be exonerated, and I hope she can get her position back, or however that is. I'm just looking forward to what this is, and it's hopefully to just learn,
So But here's my response, and I want to thank James Hill for what he said, because sometimes people have to hear us yell and talk softly and go through the whole rigmarole, because we're like a family. We're like an extended family. So let me say this for you differently. Mr. Glass, I've known for a period of time. I'm not going to say how long. But when I say I know him, I know him. Mr. Glass can go out here and rob 6 liquor stores and be caught on video camera. Now, he was trying to get the money for his wedding and blah, blah, blah for his kids. He didn't really mean to rob the 6 liquor stores, but he had to. Did what he had to do to take care of his family. Okay. So you can't really call it. You can't really call your cousins or whatever and say, hey, I just robbed 6 liquor stores. Come get me out this shit. You can call his big sister, but that's not really a good look. But he does know there's one person he could call. He knows that one person. So when it's raining for you, who do you call? Who do you call? See, I'm the type of person, when I say I give you my friendship, it's for life. It doesn't depend on if you stole or allegedly stole $5 million. If you stole the $5 million, damn, you couldn't get away with it? Damn. But if I'm your friend for life, I'm your friend for life. So if you stole the $5 million, hide the money. And if you go to jail, well, give me the money. I'll hold it for you. You come out, I'll give the money back to you. That's what real friends do. But see, when black folks talk about being down, that's why I don't like the word culture, because that's some new shit. I'm not with that new shit, because these new cats will rat you out in a heartbeat. I'm old school. When I say I'm with you for life. Now, what if he was a Republican? What if he was Mr. Brooks? And Mr. Brooks was my friend for life. then he get the same respect. So when we say out to the community, why can't we get ahead as a group? Why can't we work together? We can't work together because when things get tough, we will turn on each other. When the Jewish community has a tough time, they stick together. Now, Bernie Madoff, they couldn't pull that one off. Epstein, they can't quite pull that off. Some things are just so egregious, you just can't quite pull that off. The guy over in the
got to say court.
Fair enough. We as a community, when we're accused of doing things wrong, whether we did things wrong or not, if you don't have a support structure to help you get through, because if I was to be held to task, have I done everything right in my course of my life, criminally or civilly? Probably not.
Yeah.
So when we all look back in our lives, we've done some things wrong that we've gotten away with. Now, if you're up there in DC, that is the corruption capital of the world, not just of the US, of the world. So, when we talk about holding people accountable, you'll hold certain people accountable, but you'll give other people the pass. And that's what I don't like, because it's like playing in basketball. We want everyone to have a fair opportunity to win the game. Sports allegedly is the only arena where, I say allegedly, where you have a fair opportunity. See, I knew he's going to do that.
I can't shake my head.
Finish what you're saying.
Look,
we just want to have
I'm about to go to the wine rack, and every time you say allegedly, I'm gonna take a swig, and I'm gonna be sounding like JFK Jr. by the time this is done.
There you go. RFK Jr. There you go, taking them shots again. RFK Jr. There you go.
My bad.
There you go.
Jr.
There you go.
Richard. Look, let me give you a little bit of spice to this, right? I told you I was accused of stealing $3.5 million.
Yeah.
From Citigroup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Accused of theft, conspiracy, money laundering. Did I get a day in court? I'm asking. You don't know, but what do you think?
I'm gonna say no. You didn't get your day in court.
I didn't get a day in court.
You didn't have no charges.
You know why?
Allegations.
No. Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
The Secret Service, the Postal Service, and the United States Attorney blew up my driver's license to 8.5 by 11 and held it up in front of all of the co-conspirators. And not one of them could say Lindahl Medeiros.
Junior.
I was the executive vice president. I was the Wall Street Journal article. They wanted it to be me. Mm-hmm. But they knew that the co-conspirators, the actual people who stole and moved and passed the money around, none of them could say my name. And that's when I thanked the Lord that I had the name because I hated my name growing up because girls couldn't pronounce it.
So,
but it saved my life. So my point is,
and he couldn't get his job back.
Yeah, I was wrongfully terminated. I
couldn't take character.
Listen, because in the state of Texas, the statute of limitations is 1 year, not 2, for wrongful termination. So I couldn't even get my day in court for being wrongfully terminated. My employers came to the false conclusion that I stole money, that I conspired to steal money, and that I brought my money to work to launder it. How stupid can you be?
Right.
So this is, I am fair.
A personal experience.
I am fair, and I am consistent. You will not have anybody on my record with me giving somebody a pass.
So wait a minute.
I don't give anybody a pass. What I do is any conclusion that I come to it with facts.
So my thing, but wait a minute. My thing is that was your experience, and I've had my own experience, criminally and civilly. So here's what I'll say, because I've known Mr. Glass for a long time. I haven't known you for that long.
Oh, and I would have his back too.
So no. Check this out. Though.
The 6 liquor stores. I'll put Jay, I'll put some on your books.
Right on.
But I was still like, damn. I wish he had.
So let me be clear, because Mr. Medeiros does all this business work. He can always be accused of a financial crime. So at 8:00 my time on April, what is today? April the 22nd. So let me be crystal clear. If there's ever a case, because we're not really technically friends, so if there's ever a case where he was ever to be charged and somehow mysteriously I make it to the jury pool, I don't know Mr. Medeiros. So if he's charged with a financial crime and we're not really friends, and I can make a unbiased decision based upon the evidence presented. And from what I can see, by his actions and his behavior and his leadership skills and what he exhibits, he would never do anything to violate the law, intentionally or unintentionally. So if I'm on the jury pool, there's a good chance that Mr. Medeiros will not be convicted criminally or civilly. Now, that's me as a jury person who's African-American that's looking at the facts of the case against another person who just happens to be African-American. With that being said, very few African-American men are like me in the jury pool. See, when white people go to the jury pool, they say, well, can you be unbiased? I absolutely can. Do you believe in a country? Absolutely. Is this the greatest country on earth? Absolutely. And I say the same thing. I say the exact same thing. And now I'm on the jury pool. And now Mr. Medeiros, with the evidence that was presented to me, it's not a preponderance of the evidence in criminal, I think. And then with civil, it's a different level of proof. Mm-hmm. And then, so he's found innocent of any wrong transactions, criminally and civilly, in my opinion. But I want people to hear how I said that. Mm-hmm. Because first of all, I have to be a registered voter. Doesn't matter if I belong to the Republican Party, a Democratic Party, or no party preference. I have to be a registered voter in the county I live in, so I can be eligible for that jury pool. Doesn't matter if I march in Black Lives Matter. Don't matter if I go to black churches. Don't matter if I'm part of the black.
Don't matter if you Colin Kaepernick.
So
unregistered, non-voting,
kneeling
in front of the flag, mofo. Yeah.
So I have to be a registered voter in my county, so I can be eligible to be in the voir dire. And when I go up there and they say, do you know Len Medeiros? No, I do not. Well, wait, haven't you talked to him before? I think I may have talked to him briefly, maybe over through a friend, but no, I don't know. I don't know his life story or anything like that. So you can make an unbiased decision on Mr. Medeiros. Absolutely, I can. You're not lying. No, I'm not. If you're lying, Mr. Brown, that's a felony act. I'll take that chance. I stand by. I believe in the greatest country on earth. I believe in showing the evidence. And once you show this evidence, I'll be able to make a reasonable decision on Mr. Medeiros and his behavior. Now, those are straight answers to the questions that I was asked in a time of need for Mr. Medeiros and his lovely wife, Stephanie. Now, other black men and women, you can tell what they're going to do, because when it was raining for Mr. Medeiros, they said, well, we don't know yet. We have to wait to see how things turn out. I'm saying, well, show me the evidence and then I'll make a decision. Because it's raining for Mr. Medeiros and I'm here to say, here's the umbrella, or maybe you don't get an umbrella, but I'm here anyway, holding the umbrella for you so that you can see me right here. But the other black folks, when it's raining for you, they're not out on the street corner with the umbrella to see if you need it. You can't find them. And this is a symbol of former Congresswoman Cheris Phyllis McCormick.
Let me say this about her. I would absolutely love to be wrong about her. I would love it. But I have done like I said, I've been following this woman's situation since last year. And I've looked for every nook and cranny since I've been through this. 3.5 million, 5 million. What's $1.5 million? Chump change, right? I've been through this. And my lawyer told me I'd have got $400,000 out. Shout out to Richard. My lawyer's name is Richard Harris. Richard Harris told me, he said, Len, you're so lucky you haven't been indicted.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm innocent. That's not how the law works. That's not how the law works.
That's
As a matter of fact, when you're innocent, you really need to lawyer up. Because guilty folks had a dream team.
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm sitting here saying, well, the truth is going to set me free because I ain't do it. I ain't do nothing. Nothing. Except that I was associated with one of the criminals. He was my day one.
Wait a minute. And that's one of the biggest, and that's one of the biggest problems, in my personal opinion, that Black America has with the judicial system of America.
What?
The judicial system has never been, quote, a fair and honest.
Because it wasn't built for us.
No, it's pay to play.
It wasn't built for us. Because, once again, if I need to go and make a point, there was a time when you couldn't testify against a white man.
Nope.
And then you wonder why
you couldn't sit in the jury box and point at a white defendant and say he did it.
Hold on, wait. So a Black person couldn't do that, but an Irish servant or an Irish slave could. Anyway, look, I don't want to get sidetracked.
Yes, they could.
So we gotta end it.
Shout out to Hennessy, right?
Yeah, we had two. That's funny. We had 2 hours and 5 minutes, fellas. And
we're not gonna talk about Schwartz.
We will have to come back, but what I would say
I support Schwartz too. I support her too.
I support Dr. Schwartz.
Thank you.
I am.
All right, President Trump has been a great selection.
She's gonna need all prayers that we can send out.
Yeah,
President
she's
Trump
amazing.
Has been a great selection. We had to go President
she's
Trump.
Amazing. And President Trump did absolutely make a great selection, and I hope that that she is not taken down by RFK Jr.
Brooks,
that's the hope.
You have a good night, Brooks. A good sleep.
Welcome back.
I'm watching patiently. I'm not saying much. I like until I'm called on. It's been really great.
Man, you know really that's hard to, you gotta jump in here when you get in here.
Yeah,
but we gotta
be like double dutch.
Totally okay. It's totally okay. I do. I jump in when I need to say something, and then I listen when I need to listen. It's
fair enough. But we gotta.
I really respect it.
Hey, Marie.
You know, like I said what I need to say for the Medeiros lovely couple. What love? Fuck USC. And then sorry, I said it like that. You know, and Mr. President, sometimes I agree with you, sometimes I disagree with you. I like it, dude. And my brother James, I really appreciate you having me on.
Always.
But you know what, Mr. Brooks? You know, tonight,
yes, sir.
I was laying it out tonight. That's why you were quiet.
You were going.
You were listening real careful. You saw how I was getting respect.
Just let you go.
Yes. They are like two tag team partners in WWW.
Yeah, I was about to say, y'all can stop smelling each other's tails. We got to end this.
No. Look,
we gotta go. We gotta go. It's 2 hours. I gotta be up early.
Both parties, but
are we doing after hours?
No party preference.
Well, I can hang on. I can hang on for a few minutes. Let me put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to hop on with us to join the conversation after hours, the link is in the chat, and you are more than welcome to do so. But just know that it gets a bit rawer after hours than what it is when we are live. Throwing that out there. So with that being said, we're not doing around the horn tonight because I'm a limited time. I got to be up early tomorrow morning to get my kiddos off. But as always, we absolutely appreciate y'all for hanging out with us tonight. God bless and good night.
Good night.